it is our first, I hope I'm not lying to you, first Scraplift Crafternoon of the year. Let me show you the layout. And this is a little strange in the sense, like my iPad, I don't know what the deal is with it. It's by Just Color Me Happy. I don't know if that's a Facebook or an Instagram. I feel like that's an Instagram there. And she's technically used, if I have to, I believe this is actually Vicky Bouton's, maybe it's Fernwood. She has this leaf paper on the background. Obviously there's 8 pictures. So she's got 6 and then 2. And I'm trying to see here. It's like this kind of goes behind. She's got a torn edge. There's her journaling down here with some little clusters and stuff. The title's over here going up on the side. Can y'all see that? I'm not getting off the camera. I'm trying to get that close enough. It's kind of all outdoorsy stuff and leaves and whatnot. So that's what we got going on as our inspiration. Now what I have here, unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately. I think her pictures are like 2 by 3 and I printed mine 3 by 4. This was my dad's homecoming party here. Now technically this was actually a couple days before that because this is the day he did go home. Because it's got welcome home, but I want that together with this only because it says welcome home, so it's kind of that. Now, because I printed these as 3 by 4 versus 2 by 3, I'm only going to be able to fit 4 in 1, and that's okay. I'm totally fine with that. And then the kit I pulled out is actually the October 2023 hip kit, because look at the colors, you guys. So they have a very brightly colored living room. It's kind of got this orange color and stuff like that, and I think that looks wonderful with this set of papers here, y'all. Like, look at this. And I actually even had pulled out, what did I do with it, y'all? I had a gorgeous leaf paper. It was like dark colors and, well, my goodness. You may have to see it in a minute. Oh, here it is. Look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? I think this will look wonderful. I'm going to have to put the stripe and all that kind of stuff, but I think this looks really pretty. But then I can also obviously bring in, you know, any of this stuff. I'll have to kind of work with that. That's kind of and I may even frame this. I haven't figured out yet exactly with what, but this attracted me a lot with these colors. And then also it's attracted me because it's kind of a Thanksgiving, I don't know where those are. Oh, here. Kind of a Thanksgiving-y type collection with like thankful and grateful and stuff. And frankly, that seems to play in very nicely. Not necessarily the fall, but like the thankful, grateful type stuff, blessed, because of course we were very excited for him to come home. So I think I can, there's like a little house and stuff like that. I think I can use like the houses and the grateful, and you know, leaves of course are always kind of, these are little vellum leaves, y'all. Cool. I don't know what my title is yet. I don't know, unless it's going to be homecoming or something along those. I haven't decided, but there's these white, big old letters here. So that's really great. So that's what I'm starting with, and let me get this figured out. I got to figure out my next little papers and stuff real quick, and I'm probably going to mat these actually on white cardstock, I think, so I'm going to do all that before I come back on. So let me do the cutting, and I'll be back on in a minute. Okay, you guys, really quick check-in, and oh my God, that was so loud. I am so sorry. If that shocked you, I apologize. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this. I'm going to frame it with this sheet here, which has kind of a pinky-ish color, but it's in the collection, so we're going to say it's okay. I'm going to gut it because that is going to be the piece I have over here. And then I'm going to have this piece, so that's going to go there. I think I'm going to have this piece be here, which is where the other photo goes, this one here. I may have to mat him again because it's going to probably end up disappearing if I'm not careful. I may end up having to mat all of them. I'll have to see. And then this right here, I actually pulled out of my scraps from Hip Kit. I do not have any idea which collection, all that looks almost like maybe a summery one, I think, maybe from this past summer. But it goes with these yellows. So I'm going to use that as the little strip that was kind of down here with some journaling, because I didn't want to cut up a whole sheet of paper for just that small little strip. And nothing on the back side was really going to work for me. So that's my plan. Like I said, I may have to end up matting these again on a darker sheet, which maybe it's this. Although, I like that page there. I may get my scraps again, you guys. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm going to start with, so I'll be back on in a second. Okay, you guys. So I have mounted my photos on white cardstock and then that darker navy blue pattern that was in the kit. And I have gutted the framing paper that's behind the leaves paper. And that's going to be the mat that I use where she had on that right-hand side there. And so I like this a lot. I think the blue really pops off that lighter colored cardstock. And I'm not going to lie, I love these colors with this collection. I think the pictures and everything just look perfect. And even the one with my dad and his little blue t-shirt over there just looks perfect with these trees. I was really pleased to find all this works together so well. So the one thing I do screw up though, if I'm honest, is I cut this and then I realized after the fact when I start gluing stuff down that this was supposed to have had a torn edge on the left-hand side of that little mat there. And I didn't really leave myself enough paper to tear it. So in a minute, I'm going to actually take my distress tool and I'm going to distress that side kind of roughly. And here's where I realized it. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to kind of really roughly distress it. And if I'm honest, even after I glue this down and even after I've frankly already taken all my pictures and everything, I'm going to really rough it up some more. And it does look torn by the time it's all said and done with, but I kind of kicked myself because I do like a torn paper edge. And I was like, Christine, you didn't even think about it. So the other piece I got going on here is that blue, like that light blue kind of like hash or I don't know what that pattern's called, like a hash pattern or something like that. So that's that piece. And then I'm going to take the yellow piece in just a minute. That's going to be underneath that. And you barely even see that when that's all said and done with, if I'm honest. But on hers either, you can't really see it that much. It's just kind of a little shelf, I guess, for some stuff. And I think this looks really cute. I'm happy with this. And then I'm going to, what am I going to do next, y'all? I've done forgot what I did next. I know I glued this down. Oh, I pull out some stickers, I think, in a second. I'm going to glue all this together, though, first. I'm going to kind of attach everything. Basically just, I mean, as a unit, if I'm honest. I'm going to kind of glue this stuff all together. I don't know why I left all this in here, if I'm honest. I guess just to show you kind of how I'm piecing it together. I mean, you didn't, obviously the whole piece doesn't go all the way on the other side or anything like that. At least I didn't see it in the original, so that's what I did. And I'm going to make this all with just kind of one unit. I'll kind of attach it initially toward the bottom a little bit, and then I'll realize, no, that's too far down, and I'll end up bringing it back up. But for the moment, I'm just kind of sizing this stuff up. Again, because my pictures are a little bigger, I think I cover up more of my background paper too. I do go ahead and decide to do just a light scuff on the other edges of the papers. Not quite as scuffy as my piece I tried to make it look torn, but enough for it to look not like clean or whatever you want to call it. Like it needs a little texture on the edges. Then I'm going to end up in a second kind of gluing this stuff down. So I'll tell you a little bit about the party while you're watching me do this. So my mom, my stepmom, my bonus mom, this is at their house. And she invited, I don't know how many people, y'all, but my aunt, my dad's sister, and his niece, my cousin, they actually went over to help set up. And I took pictures of the backyard because we were actually this is their little living room. And their house is not terribly, it's not ginormous or anything. And there was a lot of people. So they'd set up some stuff in the backyard. And I took pictures, but honestly, it was really basically on the verge of raining. And so they had to have tarps and stuff down. And the blues were just a little too, it didn't look right. And there wasn't actually very many people in those pictures when I took them. There's like 2 or 3. And so I go, you know what? I'm not going to add those pictures to this layout because it just wasn't going to add a lot of value to it. So, but the party itself, we did have stuff outside. Everybody brought food. It was a potluck in a way. They did a really, really good job decorating though. I'm not going to lie. There was gorgeous, like, lights and, little balloon thing. There was these balloon arches and all this kind of stuff. And they did a wonderful job. And then the party on the inside, of course, people just kind of, my dad was kind of holding court. That's what actually basically my journaling is going to say. My dad was just holding court. Everybody was coming to see him and talk to him. Everybody was very excited. He had visitors, of course, while he was in facilities, but just by the nature of everything, it was kind of limited. It wasn't like, dozens and dozens of people could come see him all the time, especially in the very beginning when it was, people were restricted. But even toward the end, he had visitors, but again, it wasn't like a big party or anything. You couldn't have parties in a rehab facility. So he was having a really good time. One of the pictures actually shows a police officer. That is not because the party was rowdy. He's a friend. So he's a family friend. So he came by. We had people, sitting, and my dad had a little bib on or whatever because he's got old man syndrome. I tease him all the time. He's got old man syndrome and he spills food on himself. So I've seen my bonus dad do that too. So I don't think that has anything to do with my dad's condition or anything. They're just messy when they get old, right? They're eating and they're excited about it. So, but you can kind of tell he's talking and just having a really good time. He is in his wheelchair. He does have a walker and stuff, but he's not quite, he was bedridden for 1.5 years, y'all. So he's not quite where he can walk yet by himself all the time by any means. So he was having court though, like I said. Okay, so I've gone through all my ephemeras and stuff. I got some stickers kind of stuck on my cutter over there. I have that grateful, thankful, blessed one. I don't actually end up using that one, but I do use these little word stickers. She had little word stickers on the photos. The blue one's a little hard to see, but it says celebrating together. We have together, or all together again, grateful, thankful, blessed. And I'll put those on the photos. And I like that a lot, actually. I was kind of pleased that she had that on there because I was able to use these little stickers. And then I have the ephemera, and I've kind of gathered those. You can see there's a little house at the top up there. And then there's like some leaves with some candles. And then that little jar right there just says love being together. And then I'll take some florals and kind of build out. And there was a little floral frame. That's it right there. I just picked it up. I'm going to end up putting that kind of on the top and, not kind of, on the top and bottom. And I'm going to split it. It kind of just offers like a little framing. I didn't cut it here yet. I'm going to actually end up cutting it in half because I'll put the top part on the top and the bottom part on the bottom. I will end up using, there's a tag. It's a sticker tag. It says grateful. It's a little journaling tag. And I'm end up writing my journaling on that. I won't do that on camera, though. I'm going to end up taking, and I'll turn the camera off, but I think I do leave it in there for the pictures. So you'll probably see some of the journaling. It just basically says, you know, we were excited to have him home, and he was like a king. You know, he's having his little, holding court like a king is what I said. Yeah, there's the sticker right there. It says grateful on it. I like that a lot, too. I will add some twine or whatever toward the end here. You'll see that as well. I don't pull out any enamel dots or anything like that. There's a lot going on already with all the patterns and the ephemeras and stuff. Although sometimes I feel like I see other people's layouts and I think, gosh, I probably could have added more. You know, I could have layered more or whatever. But in this case, I've got, 5 photos because I was kind of proud of that. Because a lot of my layouts, if you ever watch me, you'll notice I only tend to do 1 or 2 photos sometimes. So I like having a layout with quite a few photos on it. That tells a good story. I enjoy that sometimes. I did decide I did not go ahead and use those white letters. They were just too big because I did want the word homecoming. So I got off into my American Crafts little foam letters there. Now, I have 3 little packages of it, but I've tended to use the most common letters already. So I didn't really want to break into my newest package. So I did surgically manipulated my some of my letters. So I turned the O's there are actually Q's that I cut the little legs off of. The I was actually a J that I took the bottom off of. And my E is actually an F that I had to kind of surgically correct with a piece of an X or something like that. So I have letters, but I don't want to really get into them if I've got packages still yet of the other letters. So I kind of made my own letters there. Here's where I put that twine in, and I like how this looks. I'm going to use a little bit of Nuvo glue because it's going to kind of curl around here, and I'll use a little Nuvo glue to hold it inside. Or in place, rather. And then I do put foam up underneath several of the little flowers. I put the foam up underneath the little jar of flowers, up under the house. I didn't put foam up underneath any of the pictures, though. I might could have, but anyway, that's what I got going on, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out the playlist because the ladies will all be playing along. And, of course, the original will be linked in the description as well. I know she's on Instagram. I do not know. Tara usually finds if she has a video. So if there is a video, that'll be down below. And you guys make sure you go give her some love. And we will see you next time. Bye.